Hi lovelies! Today we will be coloring in the drawing I just finished this morning. Let's get into it. All right, so for her skin tone, I went ahead and grabbed number 8, the pink rose. And then I also grabbed 83 lavender. And this is the Touch Morkie brand. Not sponsored. I just got these for Christmas one year and I've used them ever since. So, and then these are actually a different brand for, it's more like a skin tone type marker, and these are from Brie Reese, and this is going to be the 96. So yeah, let's get into what I do for under the skin. All right, so I'll take our lavender and just kind of map out the shadows I want. Start by kind of curving there, grabbing some here, really getting into her ear. Just kind of really, and then very lightly shadowing the bottom there, and then also catching any other shadows that I want, and also definitely under her eye, then under the crystal that I gave her. And then we'll also, it's just my dog, kind of go a little bit on the eyelid, and we'll also definitely catch some just tiny little dots down there. And then we'll also go down on the horn as well. And then at this stage, I could just kind of map out where I want my shadows to be and exactly just kind of where everything is going to be placed. And I also do a little bit under the eye for kind of like a tired, sleepy look. Also catch under that jaw as well. And then right here, kind of under her necklace, kind of where the hair meets her neck over here. Just kind of trail that down. And we're also going to catch the chains of her necklace. And also her other braid. And along the lines of her dress. And then one last double check. We'll also stick a little bit more in there. And I'm going to do a little bit more on that ear so it's a little more defined. Also the tufts of her ear. Then I'll step back a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good so far. So I'll do the same thing over here on her arm, just kind of there, kind of map out those shadows really nicely. Also get like her arm over here, along. I think I'm gonna trail over here a little bit thicker. And what I'm gonna do down here. And I'll also get under her bangles, kind of over there. Then we'll do the same thing to her other hand. Very lightly, very lightly. Just definitely want. Yeah, and then let me see what else I need to do. That is it for lavender. Now I'll take the rose pink and just kind of trace over some lines, kind of highlight where I want a lot of like the blush to be, kind of haphazardly. I always catch the nose, kind of under here a little bit, go back over with the under bag, and then I'll just kind of start in the ear as well, give it a little bit of a pink run off. I think I want it to fade to red down here, so I'll leave a little bit down here as well. And then I'll redo these lines down here just to give it a little bit of oomph, and then also kind of get this on her hands. And then I think what I'm gonna also do is go back in with the purple and do here and kind of redefine the curve of those hands as well. think I'll do that. And then we'll also get down here. That might be it for the pink. All right, I did add a little bit more pink and purple kind of by her tail and her horn. So I'll take this really quick, and as soon as that focuses, we'll just kind of start coloring in her skin tone. Like get there. And you'll start to notice just like the undertone really carries through, hopefully. If it's too light, I'll go back in and redo it, but hopefully it shouldn't be too dark of a shade that I used to begin with. For darker skin tones, I try to color match as best I can with like the under pink and purple just to give it a little bit more life. You can see it peeking through over there. And sometimes I'll go back over it with like the pinks and purple and just kind of build it until it makes sense. So I am going to finish her skin tone, and I'll be right back. Here is what that looks like with just one. I am gonna end up going over where I put the pink and purple a little bit, and then I will be back with you. Here is that after I went back in, and I'm just gonna take, once again, this kind of brown color, just kind of blend that out a little bit more. Just kind of blend that back in slightly so it doesn't overwhelmingly skew pink or purple anywhere that I don't want it to. So we'll just kind of go back around the face, especially around this nose so she doesn't look sickly. Definitely down here. So the shadow's a little bit lighter. And then definitely around that horn. My inspiration for this piece was kind of like Bratz Y2K meets fantasy, which I think is a very fun concept. Just kind of continue for here, just kind of very quick, nothing too heavy. Yeah. So she is very, her main color palette is going to be red, kind of a cherry red. There we go to focus. And I'm going to quickly fade out the red I want for her ear tuft, and I will be right back. So for her shadows, I did 81 or deep violet, and then for the main color, I chose 1 or red wine. So we'll do that. That created a very subtle ombre, which I do really like for her ear, but I don't think I'm going to use this specific red for the rest of her hair because I kind of want it to be a very bright but fiery red, which I think will look very beautiful on here. So I'm going to go grab the colors for her hair. For her hair, I chose 10 or deep red. As soon as that focuses, there we are. So we will do that quick. Let's very quickly go in with that very nice red. I might use the wine red to help blend, or I might just grab a lighter purple. I also just might go with a darker red for the hair as well, because that's a little too bright for what I'm after. I ended up going with Old Red or 2, and it does create this very nice, almost vintage feel for it. So I do really like that. So I'm going to finish off her long braids, and then I will be right back. The hair is done, and I will show you what I did on the tail. So I kind of just went over it, like my lines, and then I left a little spot for where like highlights would be. Just kind of continue, and then I'll switch to my lighter color right here, and I'll just go back over that and kind of blend with this one, and it kind of creates very nice, like a very highlight, and you get some mid-tones, some darker spots, and that's pretty much what I did on the rest of the hair. And that is it, and there is all of the hair done. I am also just going to take that same color that I used for the highlights, which is number 4 Vivid Red. I'm just going to go over like the pomegranate seeds and get all the flesh of the pomegranate. And we'll go back in later and do some highlights and some work on this one. We'll just kind of, those like seeds that I have out there, and we'll work on that. We'll leave highlights for after the marker is done. And next, I think I'm gonna work on the pants next. For her shadows for the pants, I'm gonna use 23 or orange. So we'll kind of follow the hairline. Gonna be really light on this side and then heavier on this side. Kind of just like follow that line. So just like while we're here, just kind of follow those lines as well. Kind of follow the line of her belt. And once again on the side with the hair. Kind of so get the shadows over here. And we'll also just do that one quick as well. Kind of following the shapes I have over here. Just kind of continue that, and we'll, it's the same process as everything else really. It's just a lot of over and over. It's almost meditative in a state. And then I'm gonna catch a really harsh shadow where I have like the inside of her pants over here, and we'll just catch that down there. And then for here, kind of loop it really heavy and really follow that line. Give it some dimension. We'll just continue to fill all the shadows in, keeping in mind where I have stuff placed. Just kind of continue. Catch her other leg over here. Can just kind of continue to catch what I need on. And also catch her belt over here. Being mindful of where her hair kind of sits. We'll just kind of continue, just kind of pull that in for where the shadow's gonna naturally catch over here. Just kind of continue. And then for here, I'm gonna do a really big shadow since it's, her leg is shadowing her other leg over here. Kind of continue down. I'll just continue to fill in everything that I need. Be sure to put it over here as well. And then make sure we're getting all the folds that I need. Just like we'll trail that up a little so we have like a tiny little shadow. We'll take a step back. Where else I want shadows, kind of fill in where I need to. And that looks pretty good. So the same process with, I'm probably going to use 13 or Scarlet for the kind of the midtones, and for highlights I'm going to be going back to our rose pink over here, and I think it's going to be really nice, and we'll get into it. So I have our mid-tone here, and we're just kind of gonna go back over, kind of plot out where I want my highlights a little bit, and also just go back over these shadows. These shadows aren't as dark as I'd like them to. I think I might go over with maybe a green, but probably just go back over them with that orange. Her pants, I really want to be this nice, bright color. And just continue with this. And just kind of continue over here. Kind of we'll plot some more highlights down here. Plot some more. We'll finish up with that, and then I will rejoin you for highlights. I am going over the pants with the lightest shade that I have. Kind of blending everything together once more to create very nice and dynamic. I'm not getting in like this area to ensure that it's as dark as possible to create that shadow. Just kind of continue to blend. I'm not going to blend too much on the pants because I think it looks pretty good as is right now, kind of with that kind of sheen to it. The pants were inspired by that one the one live action of Scooby-Doo with kind of like a Daphne kind of inspired piece. Just kind of catch the belt loops. They're all, and then definitely up top as well. Just, yeah. There are the pants, and I did end up going over the shadows with the orange just once more, give it a quick little just to deepen those shadows, and it turned out really well. I hope it's picking up well in the camera, but yeah, there are the pants, and I think I have to finish up the fur down here first, so I'll do that off camera, and then I'm also going to leave the hooves because I have an idea for those later, but we'll come back to, let me see here, probably her eyes and kind of her little bangles over here, and I will be back. I ended up deciding to do something different for the bangles, so what I'm doing now is just kind of catching the pomegranate, just like what I can. So we'll put that away, kind of grab, just kind of get that nice red color of that pomegranate in there. Really just also take some of our mid-tone and just kind of reach that back in there. Just, we'll clean this up when we do highlights and stuff, but yeah, there is that. So next we'll start on probably her belt and the gemstone right here. For her belt, I'm just gonna do a nice little dark ruby, just kind of get some of the shadows in there, and then we'll take our, pop that off if I can. Should work if I, actually, just give me 1 second. Kind of catch in here a little bit. And then for the belt, I'm thinking of a nice black. I think will work very well. So I ended up going with a nice dark cool gray. We're just gonna quick do the shadows here. Continue this line. And then we'll go ahead and grab our nice warm gray. This is Warm Gray 9 out of the markers that I have. Just kind of go in with it. It's as close as black as I can get with still doing shadows. It's not going to look too out of place, but it's still going to look black. It's just going to be a more natural looking black. So yeah, there's that. So I think next we're going to be working on her two shirts here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab our light lavender for the kind of the shadows on her cherry shirt here. I kind of want it to be like a gravity almost. And then we're also going to take this same shade and just kind of that a little bit more. And then I'm going to take number 3 or our rose red and kind of just go over what's there. And once again, we won't worry about highlights for this right now. We'll get that later. Kind of just creates a nice, flat, almost 2D type feel. And then I'm also going to grab Dark Skin, which is going to be $145. I have a really light green, so I'm trying to stay away from all that I can, just so it won't get muddled in the final rendering of the drawing here. See, it's very, it almost looks like a gummy, which I do really like. And then I'm actually going to take the kind of the blush color that we used earlier, but this one is going to be our Mauve Shadow, or 146, if you would focus. And then we'll just kind of go back over here, kind of get some shadows going. And then just kind of continue the shadow over here, kind of follow this down. Also just this down here as well. I think I'm gonna thicken this line up here a little bit, so it's a little more, yeah, there we go. And then I think I'm also gonna go back and blend this out with a Cool Gray 0.5. And can't forget her sleeves up here. Make sure they're correctly shaded. Let's continue the shadows. We'll beef that up over here a little bit. Just slightly, so it's fine. Just kind of trail it up. Show the 3D, the 2D. And then I am going to grab our Cool Gray 0.5. Okay. So we'll take our Cool Gray 5, just kind of blend that out a little bit, kind of just give her slightly. Just kind of continue to blend that out, kind of give her a gray shirt to go match well with her hair. Just kind of cool it down a little bit, but still keeping it with the warm undertones. This is the Cool Gray 0.5. I do use this color a lot for like shadows in the eyes, a lot to just kind of, once again, how I'm doing here, just kind of bring it down to more cool tone. We'll just blend this out. And there is that shirt on her. And then for this one, we'll also go back with some highlights, because I do like adding a bunch of highlights and sparkle to both my drawings and my paintings. And then we'll come back and we will grab the shadow I'm using for the green, the dark skin tone, and we'll kind of go as close as we can to the eye. And then we'll come back over here with our green, and we'll finish that out as much as I can. It's very small, so I gotta focus, and that kind of creates a very nice function with the green. And we'll kind of highlight that green jewel I kind of want by her cheek. We'll fix it up later with highlights and line work, but I think next I definitely want to get the checkered shirt in, and the pattern is going to be really simple. We'll do the same thing that we did kind of with the belt for over here, and we're just going to kind of mark it a little bit, so every other one. And then continue the pattern. I am gonna do this off camera because I do need to focus on this, but I will see you in a little bit. Here is her shirt. Next, I'm definitely gonna be working on the seat right here. So I'm gonna take just the same deep violet I've been using. We're just gonna catch everywhere where the shadows need to disappear a little bit. And then I definitely left the bangles over here because I have a idea for those as well. So we'll just kind of this real quick. Okay. Trying to do this one-handed and focus so I don't accidentally catch anywhere where I don't need it. I think we're gonna actually just fully color this in. After I get finished with this, I'm just gonna use the same method I did for over here on her shirt with blue instead of pink. And then I am going to outline it all, and then I will be back with you for highlights. But first we do have to finish the seat over here. For the seat, I was inspired kind of by diner seats, like kind of like Bratz and Barbie's doll play sets. So there is that. And then we'll take our red, which I'm going to use the Rose Red 3 that I kind of used for the cherries over here. And then we're just going to fill this in. Just real quick here. And I'm probably gonna go over this with Vivid Red as well. Was it Vivid Red? Or Old Red, just to darken this up a little bit, because I think it's a little too light for what I need it, and I think these are blending a little bit too together for my liking. So we'll just finish up the base layer here, just kind of get a feel for it, and then I will be back. Okay, so I decided not to outline until I have the hoods and the seat, like her little bangle things up here. So I'm gonna show you quick what I'm going to be doing off camera with her hooves, just kind of, and then just kind of coloring them in with glitter pen. Hopefully it picks up after a little bit here. So we'll just do a little bit of a bigger swatch. It kind of picks it up, but it kind of picks it up a little bit. So that's what I'll be doing off camera. All right, I am back from outlining. So we're just gonna catch a few things here. For starters, as soon as it focuses, we're gonna grab some eye shine in there. And also a little bit on her jewel. It's quite small, so we can get a lot. I'm not gonna do a lot for the bangles on her horn since it's quite sparkly either way. And what I do for the hair is kind of like keep it really thick around, let's see, these parts. Go really thin, kind of just streak it. And then just like that. Just enough to where it's, as soon as it focuses, it's kind of just a nice sheen. And I'm also just gonna hit the lips a little bit. Just on both sides. And then just a little bit on just the tip of the nose. Just barest a little amount. And then I'm actually going to rub some of that out with my finger. Kind of just go over that once more. Pat that out a little bit with just my finger. And then I am also on the pants just gonna highlight some of my tones here, just a little bit. Just to give it a little more interest. . Just a little bit, doesn't need too much. And then I'll also catch on that side, and also definitely on the belt loops. Then the shine for the cherries. I won't do any on here, so it's getting a little too close. I'm also going to do it over the bangles, highlight those a little bit. And then also on the pomegranates. And once again, I'm just gonna tap, 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 tap. And then kind of go back in with it. Some shine on the smaller ones, kind of highlight some bits that I want here. Also just on her horn, since it's just a little bit. I don't need too much on there. Also kind of speckle and kind of break up anything if it's a dark color on a dark color. So what I'm gonna do now is actually the under eye, just a little bit for there, just to like brighten that up. And then here we'll also do some highlights on her tail as well. Just the same as we did for her hair. We're gonna do 2 shines, I think. There we go. A little bit more. There is that. Make it very shiny, very healthy hair. And then, so what I'm actually, we'll do this first before anything. Is just catch some highlights on the chair. Just a little bit, doesn't need too much, just to insinuate. There we go. Actually, we'll do one line kind of right here, and kind of trail that down a little bit more. Give it some interest right here. And then, anything else? I also really like to highlight these right here, just very lightly pop these out a little bit. Sometimes my pen sticks, so it's a little odd. And then I'm also going to do some of her jewelry in this white as well. Kind of pop that out against her darker skin. I'll also get those jewels as soon as my pen cooperates with me. Just kind of give it some interest. Also catch these on her collarbone. That looks very nice so far. And then also on her ear tufts as well, we need a little bit of shine to shine that through. Just a little bit, don't need too much. And then actually a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do now is do her bangles in white, add some shine to the plate, and make sure her braids are really well defined. We'll get some on her hose as well. Just kind of make them pop a little bit more. I really just have fun with it. Here we go. Just have fun with the placement of my highlights. So yeah, I am going to also highlight some things here so it's not completely lost when viewing, just a little bit, just to insinuate the line. So it just breaks up some of the spots here. And we're also gonna catch the earrings I have on her. My, just get off the dried ink that's on the tip of my pen, and just kind of catch. Sometimes if I need to, I'll get some out. There we go. And we'll just continue until we're done with her earrings. And then I'm also going to catch her bangles. My brushes, not my brush, but my pen is working once more. We'll just kind of brighten those up. So what we're gonna do now is going to work on her braids, and I'll be back with you. And here is the finished product. I think redefining those braids with the white gel pen helps a lot and pulls a lot of the interest all over. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, lovelies.